Have you ever felt trapped by your own impulses, as though some invisible force drags you back just when you think you're making progress? You're not alone. Every day, millions wrestle with distractions, cravings, and the nagging voice of instant gratification. But what if true freedom isn't a matter of raw willpower, but of embracing an ancient, divinely inspired playbook? Today on Dominion Force, we're unveiling what Scripture teaches about discipline, how to cultivate self-control, master your body and mind, and experience the peace that follows godly order. Discipline, as the Bible presents it, wad, is not legalism or self-punishment. Rather, it's the loving correction of a father who knows that undisciplined desires always lead to broken walls. Proverbs 25:28 warns, like a city whose walls are broken through is a person who lacks self-control. Imagine a fortress with crumbling ramparts. Every gust of temptation becomes an invading army. But when your spiritual defenses are rebuilt through consistent chosen restraint, you stand firm. Paul, the apostle, describes this struggle in Galatians 5, contrasting the works of the flesh, impulses that lead to hatred, discord, jealousy, with the fruit of the Spirit, culminating in self-control. Notice that self-control comes last, as though it's the hardest fruit to bear. The flesh screams for instant gratification. The Spirit whispers, "Wait on me." Mastering the flesh means choosing the whisper over the shout. Countless times, each moment. Consider Daniel. Exiled in Babylon's royal court, surrounded by riches and decadence, he resolved, "I will not defile myself." Daniel chapter 1:8. He proposed a simple test. Eat only vegetables and water for 10 days. When the time came, his appearance was healthier than those who consumed the king's fare. Daniel's discipline wasn't about deprivation, but about honoring God with his body. His small daily choice became a testimony of strength and faith. Or reflect on Paul's athletic metaphor in 1 Corinthians 9:24-27. Do you not know that in a race all the runners run, but only one receives the prize? I discipline my body and keep it under control. An athlete who lacks discipline never wins. Their talent is squandered. Paul knew that his ministry, his divine calling, required the same relentless training. Spiritual victory demands physical and mental training, anchored in God's power. So, how do we translate these ancient truths into our 21st century lives? Here are 5 practical steps. 1. Name your giants. For 1 week, keep a simple journal. Every time you feel pulled off course, whether by overeating, anger, or mindless scrolling, note it down. Identify the recurring triggers: loneliness, stress, boredom. Giving your temptations a name is the first step to mastering them. 2. Set micro-resolutions. Vague goals like "be more disciplined" leave too much room for failure. Instead, pick laser-focused targets. I will read 3 verses of Scripture each morning before breakfast, or I will pause for 3 deep breaths before responding in anger. Tiny wins over time build unstoppable momentum. 3. Build guardrails. Don't test your willpower at its weakest moment. If late-night social media ruins your sleep, remove the apps from your phone or use a scheduled "do not disturb" block. If junk food derails your diet, keep only healthy snacks in the kitchen. Guardrails aren't restrictions, they're pathways to victory. 4. Find your 2-in-1. Ecclesiastes 4:9-10 reminds us that 2 are better than 1. Partner with a friend, mentor, or accountability group. Share your goals, confess your struggles, and pray together. When temptation strikes, a phone call or message from your partner can redirect you from failure back to commitment. 5. Anchor in prayer and the Word. Every dawn, before the world's noise invades your mind, pray for strength. Memorize verses like James chapter 1:5. If any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God. Let Scripture saturate your thoughts. When the flesh clamors, replace the inner monologue with God's promises. Yet, discipline isn't a one-time conquest. It's a lifelong marathon. Along the way, you will stumble. When that happens, don't spiral into shame. Confess your missteps to God, 1 John 1:9. Adjust your strategy and move forward. Failure becomes fuel for perseverance when met with humility and resolve. Imagine waking each morning with a sense of purpose, knowing that your mind and body are not tyrants but allies in your calling. Picture the peace that comes when you no longer feel enslaved by every fleeting desire, but empowered by an unshakable foundation. That's the promise of godly discipline, not bondage, but the pathway to lasting freedom. So today, take your first step. Choose one small discipline you'll commit to for the next 7 days. Will you pause before every meal to thank God? Limit screen time after 9 p.m.? Read one chapter of Proverbs each morning? Write your commitment in the comments below. Let's build this fortress together. If this message resonated, hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell to join the Dominion Force family. Here, we don't just talk about strength, we walk it out through faith, wisdom, and daily obedience. I'm your name, and I'll see you next time when we turn divine truth into unstoppable power. Ask ChatGPT.